Hi everybody, this is Pam with Trust in Your Process, and this is part 2 of my interviews with my daughter and what they feel like about me being in the van. You think they can hear it because of the thing back up
You
here?
can definitely hear it. Oh my God.
So this is my youngest daughter, Tamara, and this is her house that I'm parked out in front of with my van. This is Nova's mom, Jason's wife, and the new baby's mama. So, let's begin. Tell me what you thought when I first told you I wanted to live in a van.
I thought you were going through a midlife crisis.
And so, how do you feel about me living in a van now?
I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, yeah, I mean, it's like, it makes more sense now that you're in a van. Like, I guess this doesn't seem so awkward. It's not like you're like homeless.
Right.
So when you said you wanted to live first you said you wanted to live out of your car.
Yeah, at first I was going to do the SUV, but that did not happen. I mean, I couldn't even, I wasn't flexible enough for that.
And
So-
you're a hoarder.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder, so it would have been too much. It wasn't enough space. So, fast forward a year and a half later, I got a van. I'm living out of it. And so, what do you think?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's inspiring
Really? What inspires you?
that you
Oh, here comes Nova.
that you stuck to something that even getting like the weird side eyes basically, because it's very hard to explain why you would want to do something like this.
Right. So, did you think it was strange at first?
Were you being in the van?
Yeah, me wanting to move into my car at first.
I mean, yeah, because cars is kind of like you're forced into that situation. You don't really want to do that.
Right. So, like I was telling Kayana, I think that one of the things that would have benefited was me. No, he's gonna climb up. Nova's gonna do his thing. Just don't pull out my clothes. Thank you very much. I was saying I would do it live, but I haven't figured out the whole live thing enough to be like, what questions are they asking?
Oh.
I noticed that when people do it live, they have their computer set up and then they kind of monitor it on their phone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, would you be willing to go live on another video where my audience can ask you questions?
Yeah, for sure.
So Kaina had mentioned, my oldest daughter had mentioned that she's the type of person that she's just going to watch and see where it goes. What did your thoughts? Oh, we did. Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that. We kind of lost you there. So KK was saying, my oldest daughter was saying that, that I feel like I've got Nova up in here.
Oh my God.
Okay, just keep your feet still. Okay, the KK was saying that she's just gonna sit back and just see where this goes. Where do you have any idea, or does it even matter to you what my plan is?
I don't know. It matters.
Have you even given thought to it, or?
I just feel like this is personal for you. You know, like this is the first thing you've actually done without the approval of other people, you know?
Right.
So I'm like, regardless, obviously, when you think of van life,
I want them to see your beautiful face. Okay.
obviously, when you think of van life, obviously I want you into something like bougie. You know, like when you see van life on YouTube, it's like you see people in like these decked out caravans and stuff like that. But this is your journey. So in a sense, I'm not like, I just want to see where this, turns out. I just want you to find what you're looking for, in this journey.
Okay. Right. Okay.
And I'm just, on the sidelines testing your mental health, and I'm like ready. Like, the bitch is crazy. It's like,
Okay, so first of all, let me thank you for allowing me to be in your driveway
Yeah.
and supporting me through this whole thing. How do you feel with me here more? I mean, this part of this journey, we see each other a lot more.
Yeah.
I thought we saw each other more in my stick and brick, but it was mostly over FaceTime. but me physically in your space.
It's challenging at times. I didn't realize how much I enjoy my own space.
Right.
And like to have that separation. Like, even though we were like, oh, we talk every day and stuff, like we're so like, you know, hip to hip. It's different when you're physically here.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think for the most part, I've kind of got over that grit, because I kind of felt like a little bit like, this is my, you know, like, this is my home, and I want to make sure, because you can be very controlling and forget that your kids are grown with husbands and children.
Right.
Husbands, as in just mine. But
Right.
so that was my issue there. And I mean, but besides like my own selfish little emotions about it, and feeling like I want it known that this is my house, not you don't live here type thing. I just don't want my house and the, you know, that comfort to be so much of a crutch for you that you don't pursue this like you wanted to.
Right.
And you kind of just, it's, I guess my thing is, it could be easy with all this comfort to never see the good in this, because
Right.
you're just constantly comparing it to my, you know, I'm looking at this every day, and this is, I miss this.
Right.
As opposed to getting that out of your system so you can finally be like, no, this is what I wanted, you know?
Right. I agree with that 100%. I think that if I was traveling, or if I didn't have this option, it would be easier. Only because now I feel like I have one foot in stick and brick and one foot in the van. But what makes it also difficult that people may not know on my channel is that I stay so close because you're about to deliver a baby.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I'm going to go travel and then have to come back. Anyway, the plan was from the beginning, even from me being in stick and brick, before I even took this leap, that I would be here with you when you have the baby.
Yeah.
So in my mind, and I'm not sure how you feel about this, but in my mind, I'm thinking, so what? I'm going to go off in 3 weeks and just go around town just to say I'm living in a van, and then have to come back here for at least a good month or two to help you out.
Right.
So that, to me, I became comfortable within myself to say, this is how my van life journey is right now.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And
Right.
and that's all who has to be okay with it, in terms of everybody's van life is different that I'm
Yeah.
learning. Because in the beginning, I felt like a little bit of a fraud.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm not traveling, and I'm living in a van, and I'm not living in a van because I'm halfway in her house, and I'm not. But then I had to stop. And even Crystal helped me with this. Crystal Banner on her channel, she said everybody's van life is different. You know, and then you got people who travel constantly. That's not I don't want to do that. I want to eventually do that.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm more local, and I'm going to have to sort that out.
Yeah.
And I guess when I start traveling and start cooking, those are going to be all little journeys that I got to figure out as I go. But right now, being local means having a full-time job, going back to school, and being close to you for the new baby. Now, 3, 4, 5 months down the line, things might change, because obviously you're going to have the rest you need.
Yeah.
You might not need me as much right there.
Yeah.
And then I think I will venture away, because I want to get that feeling of, what does it feel like when my umbilical cord to you is
Yeah.
like not right there.
Yeah, I think we're definitely, what is that word? Not, we're codependent. Like you, me, and Kana. Like
Right.
it's always been that way. And even it's like, even when you had your own spot, it was just, oh, okay, everybody's in the same city. Like so
Right,
that was
right.
like the as far as codependency can go.
Right.
But even with the new baby coming, that's still like an excuse kind of for that codependency, because it's kind of like, you know, in the back of my head, it's like, yeah, my mom has to stay here because I'm having a baby, but you don't have to stay here, because even when I had Nova, you couldn't
Right.
be there
Yeah, I
because you
couldn't.
worked.
Right.
So
True.
it's not like I need you here. It's like it's a want, but I want you to know that you don't have to, like, to just do it just because you think I want you to, you know?
Okay, so tell me how that is. Like, I'm sure in the first week you're going to be exhausted, but what is your idea of my role when the new baby comes?
I want you to do what I mean, like, if you sincerely want to help, then help, but don't help just because you feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing, you know?
Okay.
So if you feel like one of those, you're forced to put what you want to do on the back burner, I don't want that, you know?
Right. Right.
So my thing is like, okay, it might not even take 5-6 months, but if it's like, okay, for the first obviously couple of weeks, it would be nice to have that help. And if you decide, you know, like you're going away in September,
Right.
that's 2 months, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because my thing is, I didn't like, oh, I'm having a baby, my mom's automatically my babysitter. Like, you have no life. That would be unfair.
Right.
In the same way, if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't, you know, like, I wouldn't feel any type of way about me doing what I wanted to do, because my thing is, me having another baby was not your decision. It was mine.
Right. Right. That's good. I'm glad we had this talk. So what else?
Don't leave it. It's like, don't leave before June 15th.
Oh, but you
Cut!
you're like, but don't leave before the baby's born, for sure.
It's like, yeah, you can leave, but you need to be back by May 30th to June. It's like, let's just be frank. So.
No, I'm good with that. No, to me, I'm really excited for the baby to come, and I'm excited to help, and I'm also then excited to move the van, because I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, but I think I'm always nervous. It's like a good nervous, and
We're
then
anxious people.
yeah, and then I'm like, I kind of like this, and then the next thing you know, you're gonna be looking up, going, knocking on the van, going, come out there,
Yeah.
because I'm gonna be a hermit in the van. But I'm really trying to make this so comfortable that I don't have a competition with your guest room, which is kind of hard because your guest room is actually very nice and comfy and all that.
Well,
but
my guest room is leaving in December.
Yeah, that's true, but you're going to have another guest room. No, but there is no comparison.
No.
You know what I mean? There's no comparison. There's stick and brick, then there's van life. Mm-hmm. And they both have their benefits, but I'm also realizing that my transition into this lifestyle it takes a while.
Yeah.
At least for me. It takes a while for someone I've lived stick and brick all my life.
And this is to me, this journey for you isn't like, on the outside it just looks like, okay, like, get the fuck up in the van already.
Ooh, curse words. Can't monetize this video. Okay.
Well, you ain't even.
Okay, go.
But no, I'm saying it to me, looking at this journey, this is not like, oh, as simple as you're going from living in a house to living in a home. You're breaking habits, you know,
right.
but that's, to me, that I feel like that's what this whole thing is about for you. This is less about wanting to live in your van and travel, and more so about fucking propelling yourself, you know, to be higher, because you're so, like, to me, you in an apartment, you're so quick to fall into depression, you know, like, but you're functioning with depression, and but it's like one of those, no, that's not healthy, you know, but you can't get the help you need with a crutch right there.
Right.
And even though the house is a crutch, I can be like, okay, leave, you know, like one of those, you gotta go, you don't live here type thing, and you're just like, oh, okay, but it seems like that's that that you need, like, you living in an apartment, you would have used that as an excuse to never go to the chiropractor, to never, you know, get up. Now you go to the gym because you have to, and you know, eventually it's just like one of these, when you're forced to do it, you'll realize you have to do it and how much Pam benefits from it.
Right. I can definitely see, like, my plan of why I wanted to do van life is coming to fruition. I just didn't take into account, wow, this is and then it's getting like that.
Yeah, but you're relying on you.
Yeah, literally.
And you're seeing so much of what you're capable of, you know?
Like, I'm remembering what I'm capable of. Because when I was younger, I was like, I was gone. I was doing this and doing that. And then it's almost like now with y'all grown, when you don't need me as much, I'm like, okay, now what? I remember how I used to be. But I also now remember, and now I'm saying, oh man, I got to unlearn a lot of defeating attitude, you know, defeating behavior.
Yeah, I think it was less us.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't y'all at all.
Yeah, I think it was, but that was the excuse to cope with it, that, you know, like, our kids needed you, because we were like, oh my God, get out. So we can get out. Like, do something and put us in fucking school. Like, so, but yeah. It's
So-
just getting that fire back in you.
Yeah, that is true.
You gotta buy some more propane.
I got more propane. You mean that as an analogy? Oh, okay. All right, so I think this was a good interview.
You're like, it's getting a little too deep. It's
No,
like-
I'm okay, and I literally started a new a thing on my channel that I'm gonna start calling Van Life Journal, and it's gonna be I did the first episode today that I'm gonna release, that it's gonna be more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, behind the scenes, and it might even be more for my patrons than my channel. But they're gonna hear more about what was holding me back, more about my marriage, more about myself coming up as a kid and the whole bit, and how you get into these habits.
Yeah.
So, but thank you. You hurting?
No, I'm getting kicked.
Can I feel? Kind of like it just. Oh.
Yeah, it's just like a third boob. It's just so weird. It's like, nah, my boob's up. Can I feel? It's like, no.
Let me feel. Let me feel.
Hold on.
Let me feel.
Let's see. You should be able to feel and see him.
Oh, was that you or him?
I don't know. I noticed, if you put your hand on there, you can feel movement that I won't necessarily feel unless he's like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You feel him?
I
He
do
moved.
not.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Your
don't
nerves
know.
are shot in
I
your
don't know.
hands.
I don't know. I'm so used to like a really thump. He's really subtle. I think he's our Zen baby. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Until next time, we are signing out. Remember who loves you.